An ass, and in time this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
It's really true, is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 34 years ago I was a dumbass. But today, 34 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this. There are a lot of people out there struggling, even with health issues. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. I want everyone to know someone is listening. And if you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And guys, listen, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. So, guys, today I'm just going to mention two of my sponsors. So, my first one is John Bishop, aka Johnny B, singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. So, guys, he's partners in the Joey D and Johnny B Rockin' Oldies band. He's also solo. And I just want to give a huge shout out to him and his wife Linny for what they do with the entertainment luncheon once a month. It's by invite only. It's $20. Great lunch, incredible entertainment, and they don't keep a penny of it. And they promote all of us like nobody else does. So a huge, huge shout out to you guys. Then, my newest sponsor, Robert Sweeney, U.S. Air Force one-man band, guitar player, writer, producer, AI digital creator. So, guys, he's amazing. He made me an AI theme song that you're going to hear at the end of the show. He also wrote a Jersey Devil song that he's hoping to get into a movie now. Explore powerful stories of love, loss, and legacy through my music and videos on YouTube and Spotify. Let's bring these emotional and thought-provoking tales to life. He's really cool. Wait till you hear the song he made for me. So now, I would like to introduce my really cool guest, okay? First of all, Carlos Washington, say hello to everybody.
Hello there, out there, y'all. How you doing?
Doing good. Carlos, tell everyone first off a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a Western swing or a country for about 30 some years, and I evolved into the Western swing because it was taking a turn that was speaking to me. I'm a graduate of Tuskegee University down in Alabama with honors in double E. I worked at oil field. I worked for the telecommunications industry, and I've worked also in the utility company business. I formed my own business back, oh gosh, about 24 years, and I just retired it to commit to performing and singing full time.
So, you're an award-winning Western entertainer. You've also been on the Australian country chart, right?
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that crazy? I'm
Yeah.
living over here in New Mexico,
Right.
and and got a #1 single in Australia, which is just unbelievable.
That's what I was thinking. Australia's my home away from home. I have
Ah,
hundreds of friends there. I've been there so many times. So when I saw that, I was like, wait, what is going on? So that's very impressive and very cool.
thank you, thank you. it's been quite a journey, and they like my music over in the UK as well, and so it's just an extension of that it seems to have drifted across the pond a little further.
So, all right. So tell everyone where you were born.
I I was born in a small little town next to the Mobile Bay in Alabama called Daphne, um, and I grew up there for I guess we went there to third grade, and then we moved upstate New York, around the Sydney Binghamton area, um, and but Alabama, coming from a small little country town, that's where I established my country roots. And then being up there in Sydney, a small town as well, I continued that journey with loving country, with loving to be out there in open space and not being around so many people. It just gave me a lot more life, it seemed.
So that's crazy. You were born there. You grew up in New York, upstate New York, correct?
Correct.
And now you're there. I mean, wow. No, but you know why that's amazing to me? Because you really, truly are following your passion. You know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think in life, I think God leads you to different places to where it helps develop you. It tends to make you more of who you're going to become, and then I don't think that journey ever stops until
No,
we leave this earth. Actually,
you're right. So I have a not a silly question, but I have a question for you because, when I was growing up and I was young and a teenager, I didn't love country music. But then as I got older, I started liking the more modern country. But then as I really got older, I really started liking the old country.
right?
And here we are. So tell everybody what the differences are in different country music.
Well, country music back in the day was obviously talking about different instances where they had breakups and in their relationships, and then there's about trains and all that really real cool stuff. But then it evolved to being more about love and so forth. So country music is very lyrical. Now country music today is as well as just change this little hip hop beat thing going on, but older country music, let's call it old country music back in the 70s and 90s, it's lyrical. So it talks about relationships going good or bad, period. And you can follow that through any of the country songs that you see yesterday or today. Western music, which is what I'm a part of these days, talks about the lifestyles, the Western traditions, the horse, the cows, the landscapes, everything else, including love. But it very seldom talks about me breaking up, okay? Because Western wants to keep it real, and real being this is how we live. So it's our lifestyle. So we imbuing ourselves with more of what is happening around us. So that's Western. And then Western swing, which is what I do, is a amalgamation of music, all those music together, from Dixieland jazz to blues and all that, and it comes together, and they use it. They use it in such a way that it melts together, and that's called swing. Swing is so different than any other because Western swing now took all the stuff from old jazz and old blues, and I'm talking about people like Bessie Smith, the old blues singer.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So there's people who have let her influence their music. Bob Wills is known as the king of Western swing, but he traveled 50 miles on a mule across country to go see Bessie Smith.
Wait. You're not just going to stop. I mean, continue on. Stop. Wait.
Okay.
He really did?
He did.
On a mule.
Yes, in Texas. In Texas. So
when was that? Wait, when was that? Do you know about?
The 50s.
That's crazy. All right. I just had to ask.
Yeah, so he loved blues so much, so he infused that within his music, and then it grew from there. Western really just took a page out of the swing genre and added the fiddle to it and the steel guitar, and created a infectious beat, and it was called happy music. It got a lot of people through the Depression. So when I moved to swing, or moved back to swing, it was because I was feeling that pull to sing happy stuff, and to make people want to dance, and to be more relationship with them, in some of my music that I wrote and sang, and the blues influence.
All right, so that's pretty cool. Well, I'm sure you've heard all the country jokes. Like the best one was, if you play a country song backwards, you get back the house, the girl, the car, all that, right?
Exactly, exactly. That's old country music.
That's old country music. Yes. Okay. Um, all right. So let's give everybody a treat. We have a few of your songs. Let's play one of them, and then you'll talk about it. And you might not hear it clear, but trust me, Carlos, they hear it perfectly out there. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
Here we go.
Come on now. I'll put some western back into country so you can sing and holler all night long. I'll put some western back into country. I'll play some western, make it country strong. There was a time when country and western were in line. We never knew the difference, right or wrong. Then someone made a move, said country had to rule, and western was left to sing the blues. That's why I'll put some western back into country, so you can sing and holler all night long. I'll put some western back into country. I'll play some western and make it country strong. Yeah, I am country all day long, but cowboy is what I do. Well, it's a known fact, I'm more than a hat act. I'm western and country through and through. That's why I'll put some western back into country, so you can sing and holler all night long. I'll put some western back into country. I'll play some western and make it country strong. Yeah, I long to see the day when folks like us will say we need more western in this USA. God knows our country will survive with folks like this alive. Don't test us, cause this is what we'll do. We'll all get western for our country to make it safe for generation long. We'll all get western for our country. We'll all get western and make this country strong. Let's all get western and make this country strong. Just right.
All right, my producer's going crazy. He's popping up and down. He's clapping for you.
Oh my God, it's so infectious. I gotta cut in. It's so
ahead.
infectious. The beat is amazing. The melody just makes you want to sing it, and it's just I love it, Carlos. It's just awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That song was my last cut recently, and about a year or so ago, and I just had to put my heart into things because of the state of our country, the way that we were. I had to send a message.
So I love the message, and thank you for doing that. And he never just interrupts like that. So I'm telling you, he loves it. Yes, he's waving his hands at me. Okay.
Awesome, Doc.
So, all right. So you only did this a year ago?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So where's your cowboy hat? I'm just curious. I mean, what the heck?
I haven't. I have several.
And you didn't think
hats.
like I should wear one?
Do you want me to wear one?
I would
can wear one.
love for you to wear one because Casey's watching. She's my
Okay.
cowgirl.
Okay.
Okay.
You got a second? I'll run.
We
grab
got a
it.
second. I'm going to talk about Casey while you go get your cowboy
Oh,
hat.
okay.
What do you think, Casey? He doesn't have his cowboy hat on? Give me a break, right? So, Casey LaCourse, she is our cowgirl poet, and she is our connection, and I want to thank her so much because he is amazing. You are right. Carlos Washington is amazing. So, everybody, check out Casey LaCourse, please. She is also amazing as well. Her poetry is off the charts. And coming from me, because I'm a poet, right? I love my cowgirl's poetry. All right, Casey LaCourse, the cowgirl poet. Here we go. Okay, so finally, I mean, come on, here we go. There
Little
you
bit.
go. That's so much better.
When we're at home and in the office, we put on caps. Now, when I go outside, I'll put on a straw hat because it's hot out there today. When I entertain, I always wear a felt hat,
Oh,
a
that's
really
cool.
nice felt hat.
That's cool. I love it. It's adorable. Yes, very cool. Oh, there it is. Very cool. So I'm going to ask a weird question here because I have no idea of the answer.
Okay.
What was there a large percentage of African Americans singing country music?
No. No.
No, right?
No. Country came from the blues roots and so forth, but so many of us, decide to go R&B
Yeah.
mostly, right?
Yeah.
And jazz and whatnot.
Yeah.
Country is kind of a weird thing. The people who embrace country, who want to sing country, live it every day.
Okay.
I do that every day. I live country. It's my lifestyle.
Okay.
I don't wear any other shoes. I wear boots. I don't even own shoes. I own sneakers. So no, there's not a lot of blacks in country, and I don't know why, other than they don't have the same love for it, and you have to love it. My grandmother, rest her soul, in Alabama, enjoyed country so much that when I started singing country, she would call me and says, "Tony, sing that Ricky Van Shelton song," in her little Southern voice, and I'd have to belt that song out. And so I think there's a lot of people who love it, but there's not a lot who actually sing it. And there's even fewer of us that are in the Western side of things. There was Herb Jeffries, and then there's Carlos Washington. And Herb Jeffries is a retired singer from years ago, and he just got acknowledged by the International Western Music Association a few years ago, which is quite an honor. And so it's not a lot of us.
No. Producer, just turn his mic down a hair, just a hair. Just a hair, and then we'll talk. So I'm very jealous. Casey just sent me a beautiful photo of you and her together. All right? She's
Okay.
in her cowgirl hat, and you're in your cowboy hat, and wow, I'm jealous. I want to be with both of you. I want to hug both of you. That's so cool. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we'll be happy to come to your studio.
That's right. That would be amazing, okay? So that's pretty cool because you're right. When people think of, African American singers, they think of blues and jazz, right? I mean, rhythm and blues,
Mhm.
So I thought that
Yeah.
was pretty cool too when she said she had a country singer for me, and here you are. I was like, this is amazing. So you really went out of the box.
Well, I'll tell you the closest country singer that I got a chance to meet in college, and he's not country, but he came from the country, a small little town called Tuskegee down in Alabama, where I went to college. There's a guy that we all know and admire, Lionel Richie. And the
Okay.
Commodores. He was a little bit before me, but yeah, his music has that type of feel to it. If you'll think about it, if you'll listen to it, it has the same lyrical rise to it. And obviously it's more modern than what you would think that country is today, but like Sail On, think about those songs. But Lionel came from a country background, but he went R&B, right?
Yes.
But he's the closest that I would say. And then he did an album that he allowed several country vocalists to sing his songs. that was outstanding.
So have you ever met him?
I have. We had a mutual friend in Tuskegee, and we used to go there on Friday nights to chill out. And he stopped in, so I met him once, a couple of times. I think he stopped in because he was always touring.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
All right, so now I have some questions for you.
yeah.
So, do you talk about your age?
No, I don't really talk,
Okay.
about my age, but I can.
Oh.
I'm certainly happy with who I am.
All right.
Uh,
How old are you? I'm asking for a reason.
I'm 67.
Okay, so I'll be 65. So when we were growing up, so we grew up the same time. All right.
Uh-huh.
Who were some of your musical influences growing up?
My musical influences were, um, I'd have to say, well, we all love Michael Jackson. We all
Oh,
tried to
come
be
on.
Michael Jackson. Yeah,
Come on.
big old half afro. I had one.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I used to dance. I'm a pretty good dancer actually, and you used to try to mimic him, but you know, growing up, my father and my uncle Fred Taylor. My father's passed away, but Fred Taylor's still alive, and one played the bass. My uncle played the bass, and my dad played the guitar.
Oh.
And they used to grab me at a tender age of like 8 or so, and they knew I had a little bit of a voice, so they'd sit down and they'd make me sing songs before I could go out and play. So I cut my chops on the staple singers, "I'll Take You There," anything that had a beat, a big thump thump bass, boom 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 boom, that kind of stuff. So it affected my heart, obviously, and I wanted to sing it. So I sang that song for them. They made me sing "Bridge Over Troubled Water."
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? I think it's Simon and Garfunkel song.
That
right?
was beautiful.
Like a bridge over trouble. Yeah, it was a wonderful song. And then I think their favorite one was "I Can See Clearly Now" by Johnny Nash. So I sang quite a bit, and then they'd pat me on the back and go and tell me to go play. But every time we went and visited them or they came to visit us, I'd have to sing. So my influences were pretty wide,
Okay.
but I didn't really know I had a voice until I got to college,
Okay.
and that's when I started getting a little bit more into the church choirs and so forth like that, and then I placed the number one Black Greek fraternity called Alpha Phi Alpha, and and I became one of their lead vocalists whenever we did shows and things.
You know what's so cute? There is not, my daughter-in-law is black and my granddaughter is part black, so I could say this. Okay?
Okay.
You know what is so cute? I'm not kidding you, probably 9 out of 10 African American black singers that I interview all say they started in the church choir.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
yeah, we did.
It's so cool.
So I've got another part of that. When we lived in Alabama, the Baptist church was always the end of the week, and it was always that celebration. And usually, when in those Baptist churches, there was this strong vocal choir element.
Oh, yeah.
The preacher would preach, and then you hear the choir come on. Well, there's always one that was the lead vocalist, and one happened to be my uncle. I'll never forget that man because I sat in those pews and he'd belt out a song and he'd make you believe it. And I always had a vision that I would be him when I grew up. Now, that didn't come to fruition because he moved away, but I always kept that in the back of my mind. I said, I'm going to be him in church.
That's so beautiful.
I'm going to be singing those songs.
That's so beautiful. I'm a Christian, so there was this one black church, it was like a good 40 minutes away. Once a month, I had to go. I had to get my fill, baby. I had to get my fill.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, amazing. But all right, so now let me ask you something. So, do you have like that one song that you could ever say would be your favorite song, like growing up, or no?
That's an interesting question. I like them all. Fire, the Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Fire, fire, doom, 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 fire, right?
Sing a little more. Come on, sing a little more.
That was my favorite song because it used to get me excited and fired up before a competition, be it football or track, whatever.
Okay.
I'd have I have the little recorder going on or something, and then I play that, and I go into my zone, and I come out fired up, and I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to compete.
Very
So it
cool.
has to be my favorite.
Very cool. All right, so let's play a second song and then we're going to have you talk about it. Here we go.
There's a legend told of Viva Roan, who guarded cows, he ate the candy below. At night the natives would see a glow, shadow of witches moving to and fro. There's a party on Piedra Lumbre where spirits seem to move. There's a party on Piedra Lumbre, they dance to the light of the moon. That place is called Ghost Ranch today. Folks come from miles and miles to stay. When they go to sleep, after they pray, the spirits still come back out to play. There's a party on Piedra Lumbre where spirits seem to move. There's a party on Piedra Lumbre, they dance to the light of the moon. If you ever come to this place, they say, you fall in love or you will not stay. The legends of the Labru House will make you turn around and get far away. Swing that thing. We live outside the Ghost Ranch today on the Piedra Lumbre. When we wanna dance that Texas thing, we call spirits in to do the western swing. There's a party on Piedra Lumbre. We're gonna dance to the light of the moon. When we party on Piedra Lumbre, those spirits will make you move. When we party on Piedra Lumbre, those spirits will make you move. When we party on Piedra Lumbre, those spirits will make you move.
What's the title and talk about this song?
Party on Piedra Lumbre. Piedra Lumbre means shining rock in Spanish. So I live in the Piedra Lumbre in northern New Mexico. It was a territorial region that was given a Spanish land grant, it was very, very prolific within with wildlife and so forth. Not as much these days. They have ran up to the hills because they don't want to be shot and killed and eaten. But it was a fought over hunting grounds by the Spanish and the Native Americans that would come down from the north, and the Spanish would come in from the south, and they wanted to eat, right, and so they fought over this hunting ground. It's about 10 by 12 square miles, and it's surrounded by mesas. But it's called Shiny Rock. Now, a very famous artist by the name of Georgia O'Keeffe
Yeah.
painted these rocks,
Oh,
and it really got its fame from there.
that's so cool. I'm an art. I went to art school back in the day in
Oh,
79. So I
okay.
love everything about art and history, and I love it. So that's cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Bet.
Yes. Wow. So one of my friends, her husband is a singer as well, Carlos Vasquez Ina. She's
Hmm.
listening. She said, "You have a great voice and you have a great speaking voice as well." And she is truly enjoying this.
Awesome. Well,
That's
thank you.
Ina. Thank you, Ina. And we are too. And you're making a silly little boy out of my guy back there, okay? He can't stop smiling. What do you want to say? Go ahead. Say he keeps going near the mic.
Listen, I don't know what to say, Carlos. You're just so affection. It's infectious. Everything is like a great beat, a great sound, a great violin in the background, or fiddle, whatever you want to call it, and it's just perfect. Everything is just perfect.
Well, thank you. I think a good song uh, always comes from a good story. At least that's what I was coached to do. And the song actually is a story about the Pedro Lumbre, and Ghost Ranch is an actual ranch that's on the Pedro Lumbre. It is operated by a church basically, and it's a place of Zen, you might call it, because they teach art classes there. They teach music there. They go on hikes. They go on dinosaur fossil hunts.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think the Presbyterian Church there, but it was founded. It got its name from years ago. A fable basically that said that two brothers called the Archuleta brothers used to hide cattle, so they're cattle rustlers back in this Yeso Canyon, and to keep people from coming off the trade route up to Chama, they would tell stories about how the witches, Labradors, used to come and pull people and children underground. Or Biberon, the snake, a rattlesnake, big giant rattlesnakes wrapped around Mesa or orphan Mesa. And so people would stay clear, obviously. Well, then they killed each other off, and then the land was sold, and a lady bought it, and she called it Ghost Ranch. And George O'Keeffe has a house there as well. Still, it's still up. Obviously, she's gone, but it has so much history. So I wanted to take a song that had a story and created something infectious about it. So I came up with this idea for this for this for the lyrics. I wrote the song. I wrote it with the music actually, and then I brought in and produced actually this whole cut with a couple of my friends that have a pretty good ear. But I felt like it needed that big band feel, and so I brought in those type of instruments. DK horns from up in Denver, and I brought in Bill Pontarelli, who played an excellent clarinet. You heard that thing? Oh my gosh! And so I wanted that horn, that big band sound, which was outside of my normal reach.
Yeah.
But I felt like I had to do it, and then I tried to do that Ella Fitzgerald impersonation at the very when I got it down real low, So I really enjoy this song.
It's
a lot.
beautiful. So, all right. Did you ever have singing lessons?
I had some vocal lessons up in the Denver area when I lived up there.
About how old were you when you had them?
I was a new singer within the country music world, so I was probably 30, 35.
Okay. Now, do you play instruments?
I play one instrument. I play the rhythm guitar.
Okay.
I'm more of a front man. I like being up front and entertaining, and I'm telling a lot of jokes. I just sing. That's what I do best. I played the trumpet in college,
Okay.
but other than that,
Now, did you take guitar lessons?
I don't.
No. That's cool.
I'm self-taught.
That's amazing.
I took guitar lessons early on, but that lasted probably just about a month.
Okay.
And but there's so much YouTube information, and then you play with talented people like I do. They'll give you a few tips, and they can really play. Country musicians are good, but Western swing musicians are better.
That's
because
so
they have
cool.
that jazz
Yeah.
black metal,
Yeah.
right? When I formed Still Horse Swing, my band, only one of the musicians that played country with me could make the transition. I had to find all new members.
Oh, okay. Wow, okay, that's interesting. Because I'm not musically inclined at all. So I just know what sounds good and what doesn't sound good.
There you
So,
go.
so that sounds amazing to me, but I don't know all the ins and outs. So I
Hmm.
like that, you described that a little bit to me. Thank you. Yeah,
Bet.
that's pretty cool. Um, okay, so now we have one more song. We're not going to play it yet.
Okay.
I'm going to read a poem out of my book.
Nice.
Okay, and I read this poem, Carlos, because a lot of people question their self worth and feel sometimes like they have nothing to offer. And I'm
Mm,
here to let everyone know that we all have a gift. We just have to figure out what that gift is, right? And then
absolutely.
utilize it. So, my poem is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never
Mm,
hold them back, or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, then you can roar. Be proud of who you are, be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Carlos Washington, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through
wow.
life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. Listen, that's all, not only what you're doing,
Mm,
you're making everybody smile. You're making my producer giggle like a little kid back there, okay? You
awesome.
are infectious. You are. Never stop.
Thank you. You wrote that, Gary?
Yes, darling.
I'm gonna get that book. That is awesome. It's
Thank you.
outstanding. It
Thank you.
is.
When you get it, get a photo of you holding it and send it to me because I keep a scrapbook of everyone who
I
has my
will.
book.
I will. That
Thank you.
that is outstanding, and I'll share it with people. I'm probably gonna get the book and send it to my mama.
Oh,
She will love it.
thank you. So now I have a couple more questions about your songwriting as well.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm a poet. So I just think of, what my topic's going to be and I start writing. Bam. But I know songwriters, there's like different things that go on with it. What usually comes first for you? I know it's probably mixed, but what usually comes first for you? The lyrics or the music?
The music by far.
Oh,
I'm a beat guy. I like a groove,
oh,
and so I'll start with a idea for the music in my head, and I'll hum to it, and then pretty soon, well, I'll hum to it. So I create the hook. The hook is the chorus, and I create that because that's the message that I'm trying to get across. The way I see it, So like my, the song I wrote, I'm coming home. I had this idea. I'm coming home to my family that loves me, and then and at the same time, I was writing a song or the music or singing it in my head. But then once I get the hook, then I can move on. Then I tell the rest of the story.
okay. So I have to ask you about that. All right. So, because I can't even imagine coming up with music and then saying, oh, I'll put these words to it. I can't even imagine doing that. You were one of the very few singers that just jumped right in and said the music. They usually say sometimes the music, sometimes the words. So I'm really impressed with that because I have a question about that. So when you have
Okay.
music in your head, you know how like we hum music and we're singing the music, we all do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since we were kids. I mean, that's just normal. But while you're doing that, do words pop into your head with it?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
word, because they have to marry to a certain
okay.
extent, of course. So yes, so the music comes as I'm, the idea and the music kind of comes, and then might put a word or two of what fits with the music. But then that beat, that overall feeling is still the music. It has to start first with me. Otherwise, I could take somebody else's poem and try to put some music to it, which I've tried to do, and it never works.
That's so funny
It don't
because
work.
three people made three of my poems and made them songs. That's so
I
cool that you said that.
Yeah, if I could get into your head why you wrote the poem and where you were and what you were doing and your mood, because music is mood, right?
Yeah,
To me, music is mood, and you create the feeling of mood and space with your song, and so that's how I approach it,
that's so
and I've been
cool.
successful with that. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't teeter away from it.
So now that's really cool. Okay. Um, so now Casey's saying that you're so damn good, so well spoken, and killer voice, baby. Yes, Casey, you are right. So now, do you live on a farm? Do you live on
I live on a ranch here.
you live on a
We
ranch? I said the wrong word. Yes.
It's okay. Farms are back east. Ranches
Yes,
are
I
back
get it.
west.
I get it. Yes.
Right. Me and my wife, we used to have a purebred Angus ranch up in Colorado, and we sold our cattle and decided that we want out of the cattle business, but we still wanted a ranch, so we moved down here and just brought our horses. So yeah, I live on a ranch and we have our horses. I do chores. Yeah, I was out scooping poop, shoveling poop, clean up the area, feeding, bringing them in, doing whatever we have to do in order to manage them, which we should so enjoy. I was very fortunate that I found a cowgirl my second
Right.
time around.
Right. Okay.
Miranda is a wonderful gal from Montana that we met while I was in Colorado, and she had the same dreams that I did in terms of having cattle, and we rodeoed and did those things. We went out, and she's quite talented on a horse. In
Oh,
fact, she's won more buckles than I have. But she shares. But she shares a love for space. She loves to read. She loves to ride her horse. We go riding often, and she and I are a team. So I'm very fortunate that the second time around I found my soulmate
that's
that
beautiful.
enjoyed this journey of mine right
That's
now.
beautiful. I grew up in Long Island City, New York, and Queens. But at 12
Oh,
years old, my dad moved us all to Robbinsville, New Jersey, to be with his brother, who met a
nice.
Jersey girl in the Marines because they were
Okay.
from Italy. And they built a farm and they had horses. And
Nice.
I got on the horse, fell off. I was probably 13 and said, I'm done. So I never really got back on one again.
Well, you're welcome to come down to
You're so cute.
Steel Horse Ranch. My ranch is called Steel Horse Ranch Carencia, because that's a strong word, and we're down here in New Mexico. Carencia means place of centeredness, place of strength, and this is what our place is like.
That's very
You will come
beautiful.
down here and feel very, very well taken care of, and
You're so
as well
cute.
as you get your Zen time as well.
Okay, you're awesome. So, all
Well, come
right.
on down.
So now we're gonna play the third song, and we're gonna have you talk about it. Here we go.
Well, I'm riding along, singing that same old cowboy song that's been sung 100 times before. I got nothing but my name, but I'm the only man I know to blame. But I'm living, I'm happy, and I'm free. Just listen to the wind blow, let it blow, let it blow. Sand over my trail. I got my saddle on the ground, and this old moon, he can still be found hiding in that desert sky. I like simple things in life, like a prairie breeze, a good stout horse between my knees, just being alone, just being me. When I die, let me die with a dream in my eye, a smile on my face and no troubles behind, and no cross on my grave to show my resting place. So I can listen to the wind blow, let it blow, let it blow. Sand over my trail. I got my saddle on the ground, and this old moon, he can still be found hiding in that desert sky. Just listen to the wind blow, let it blow, let it blow. Sand over my trail. I got my saddle on the ground, and this old moon, he can still be found hiding in that desert sky. So won't you bury me with my chaps on and my 6 gun strapped to my side, so I can watch the moon hiding in that desert sky, hiding in that desert sky, hiding in that desert sky.
Beautiful. Tell us about that song. Come on, it's beautiful.
Well, Desert Skies. It was written by a guy by the name of Toy Caldwell with the Marshall Tucker Band. And I heard it, a version of it, well, their version of it. And I thought it had a lot of potential. So I took it and I made it mine, basically. I wanted to groove it up a little bit. And yeah, it's a wonderful song. It kind of takes you back to a place where if I was going to leave this earth, I'm going to ride away and the dust is going to cover my trail, because the way I see it, nobody's going to put me in the ground. So I just want to float away. So basically, this song speaks to me in a huge way. And so when I recorded it, I thought of it that way. I can't call it my eulogy. No, I'm not going to do that. But it's a song that I thought had a lot of jazz roots to it, and that's what I turned it into.
That's beautiful. I actually agree with you about, I don't want to be in the ground, just let me float away. Okay, I was thinking about the ocean. because I'm a
Oh.
Pisces, and I'm not really into astrology, but my sign holds true. I'm the good fish and bad fish swimming in opposite directions, okay? So put
Right.
me in the water,
Well, good on you, and I hope that happens for you.
you know? Um, yeah, well, my brother has a boat and my grandson, so I'll tell them that's what I want them to do. Just
Do it.
take me out in the ocean. We'll see what happens.
Of course.
So anyway, so we're coming to the close of the show. This was amazing. Okay. But before I say my thank yous to you, I want to give you the mic. You have a few minutes. Say whatever you'd like to say. I don't want you to forget anything. Tell everyone how to get your music, how they can reach out to you, all that, and anything you'd like to say to everyone listening.
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to thank my mama for being born. I want to thank my Lord Jesus Savior
Yes.
God for making me possible, for doing all things that I can do through Him.
Look at my little
So
Jesus.
all my,
Look at my little Jesus with me.
you bet.
Okay,
so
go
all
ahead.
my glory, yeah. So all my glory is His. I want to thank my wife for being my support. She's a wonderful gal, just terrific, smart, intelligent, and does things right and loves me. I want to thank KC for the introduction to you, Gary. I think she's what I call our Pied Piper for Western music, because she goes abroad and she tells who we are over here, and she does it well.
Yes.
I want to thank her for introducing me to Mark Eccles of
Yes.
Oz Country down in Australia.
Yep.
The word on the street out there is they're going to bring me and Steel Horse Swing down next year.
Woo!
I want to thank the UK for loving and playing my music. Country Music People magazine. They wrote an outstanding article and exposed Europe to me. Gosh, I want to thank all of my friends that know that they are my friends. I think I've lived a good life. I think my journey is going well. I don't think I'm done yet. I've got another song that I want to release, but I'm going to go after one of those big guys and say, hey, will you produce it? In fact, I already approached him. So we'll see what happens from there. I've enjoyed life and I've enjoyed being on your show. So thank you.
Beautiful. How can they get in touch with you? How can they get your music?
Oh, I did get that. The www.steelhorseswing, all one word, .com. Steelhorseswing.com is where you can get it.
Okay. Very cool. So, all right, one last question before I close. Steel Horse Swing. Okay. Did you come up with that yourself?
I did.
I love it.
I did. I named it after my first band, which was Steel Horse Band.
Okay.
That was the country rock and roll type band that I did the big rodeo shows and concerts for, and it was a name that I acquired early on when I formed my first band, and then I just said, okay, we're just gonna swing it now. So Steel Horse Swing.
Love it.
Yeah. And so I try to keep them involved. My musicians come from all over the country. I'm reforming as you speak, because I think there's going to be places that are going to be on the calendar for next year that is going to require guys to travel a little bit further.
Beautiful. So I want to thank you so much for honoring us here. So not only did you honor me, but you sure did honor my producer today, okay? He's on cloud nine. We're going to play your music. Your music is amazing. You're amazing. Again, thank you, Casey. I just love you, girl. And thank you for this incredible introduction. And my door is always open, Carlos. So God bless
Thank you.
you.
Mine as well.
Okay. So we're going to play my new theme song that we're going to close the shows with, okay? Thank you to Robert Sweeney. Here we go.
Like on this.
Welcome to the stage where stories untold, candid moments captured, memories unfold. Gary's got the vibes, a soothing flow. Come sit back, relax, let the good times glow. Jazz in the Geri Petito show, where every heartbeat and every note flow. Jazz melodies weaving through the night. Together we'll shine. Everything feels right. Deep conversations where the heart finds a voice. Together we laugh, sometimes we rejoice. Tales of adventure, the rhythms embrace. In each note a journey, feel the space. Step into the light, let the music. Welcome to the Geri Petito show, where every heartbeat and every note flow. Jazz melodies weaving through the night. Together we'll shine. Everything feels right. So tune in now, let the magic start. Geri's podcast, a place for your art.